Everyone, my name is Irene Cebrian, and I'm the Spanish IBVM youth representative. This is a role that Cecilia O'Dwyer, former IBVM representative for the United Nations, created 3 years ago. And one of its main goals is precisely to promote UN values such as gender equity and climate action among the youth and teenagers in Spain. Therefore, ecological education is a very important part of the youth representative's role. As you all know, ecological education is about rethinking and redesigning curricular activities to be able to engage teachers and students alike in the fight against climate change. As I see it, there is a very strong interconnection between SDG 4, quality education, and SDG 13, climate action. And I think this interconnection is the cornerstone of IBVM and CJ's view of this matter, and it is precisely by acknowledging the need to educate the youth that we can promote and deliver enduring and transformative changes in the legal and the social realms alike. In this view and with these goals in mind, we designed the very first edition of the IBVM CJ Model UN between schools in Spain and Argentina. Last April, in the first edition of the model, there were 66 secondary school students from 11 schools, 8 of them in Spain and 3 of them in Argentina, who participated, being diplomats for a day, in the high-level political forum. They discussed about poverty eradication, climate change, and peace and solid institutions that were precisely the SDGs from the 2030 agenda that the real high-level political forum could discuss 2 months later. And only 2 weeks ago, in the second edition of the model, this time students were required to act as diplomats in COP29, which, as you all know, is taking place right now in Baku in Azerbaijan. And how is the model organized? Well, there are 11 schools participating. Each of them forms a delegation. 6 students per school are selected to participate, and they all represent the same member state, the same country. Each of the schools are then divided into 3 pairs, and each of these pairs goes in a separate room or conference in which they debate over a certain topic. In this year's model, COP29, we had 3 rooms. One of them discussed the Rio conference, the second one discussed the Kyoto Protocol, and the third one revolved around the Paris Agreement. All of our students raised above our expectations, and despite the complexities of the topics selected and the challenge that it posed for them, they all delivered and reached a consensus that is worth mentioning. In each of the rooms, there are moderators, which are volunteers, usually Argentinian students who have previous experience in UN models and who can guide the debate towards the drafting of a resolution. This year, the resolutions that were finally approved in each of the rooms were very ambitious. In fact, we hope that the same agreement that they reached could be reached in Azerbaijan these days. And students raised awareness on the importance of the indigenous communities' rights related to climate change and environmental protection, and they also highlighted the importance of fighting against fake news in a world where there are still many media outlets defending that climate change is not real and questioning some of their effects. I would like to invite all of you to consider implementing Model UNs as an educational tool, specifically in our case, the international character of the event that was held online allowed big synergies and learning opportunities. In Argentina, it is very common for students to participate in these kind of models, and so their expertise and know-how was very useful and instructive for schools in Spain, since in this country it is not as frequent for high school students to attend these Model United Nations, whose educational value has been recognized by the UN itself in Resolution 77 through 36.
Somos Carmela y Catalina, representando al Colegio El Soto de Madrid, de la delegación de Rusia en la segunda simulación de la Fundación.
Somos Anne y Nivia,
y somos del Colegio Irlandesas del Soto de Madrid y representamos a la delegación de Rusia en la segunda simulación de la Fundación Modelo.
Somos Claudia y Ana, somos del Colegio Irlandesas del Soto de Madrid
y representamos a la delegación de Rusia en la segunda simulación de la Fundación Modelo.
Somos del Colegio de Badalona y representamos a la delegación de Argentina en la segunda simulación de los vídeos representativos.
Buenos días, somos del Colegio de Leioa, representamos a Papúa Nueva Guinea en la segunda simulación IBVM y CJ.
Hola, buenos días, somos del Colegio de Leioa y representamos a Papúa Nueva Guinea
en la segunda simulación IBVM y CJ.
Somos el Colegio Irlandesas Loreto y representamos a la delegación de Somalia.
Somos el Colegio AMI y representamos a la delegación de Azerbaiyán
en la segunda simulación IBVM y CJ.
Somos el Colegio de BAMI
y representamos a la delegación de Azerbaiyán
en la segunda simulación de IBVM y CJ.
Hola, somos Benjamín y Francisco del Instituto de Docentes María Guard de Cerrito, Argentina. Representamos a Fátima, somos la delegación del Reino de España en la segunda simulación de la ONU.
Hola, somos Agustín y Chiara del Instituto de Docentes María Guard de Cerrito, Argentina.
Representamos a Fátima y somos la delegación del Reino de España en la segunda simulación de la ONU.
Hola, somos Lice Medina del Instituto Secundario de Docentes María Guard de Cerrito, Argentina. Representamos a Fátima y somos de la delegación del Reino de España en la segunda simulación de la ONU.
Somos el Colegio María Guard y estamos representando a la delegación de Alemania en el segundo simulacro Instituto Bienaventurada Virgen María y Congregación de Jesús.